Hey, what's up, everybody? So this is Chef here, and kind of just wanted to cover ARKK, and wanted to cover the swing position, and I also just wanted to cover some TA on it, and kind of give my perspective as to why I took this long and why we took a loss. Okay, so first of all, that contract did go below 50%. I ended up selling a little over the 102, so yeah, I took a 50% loss on that one, which was a heavy loss for the swing trade. But unfortunately, the market in general just kind of dropped, and there was a lot of gap downs overnight, and that's not something we can predict. The only thing we can do is just manage our positions, cut loss, take profit on the puts, and literally just come back another day and reset some alerts and revalue what you're looking at, and to continue to keep growing and learning in this trading journey. So why I see so much value in ARKK, based on the price action and based on zones, what I want to do is show you this weekly chart first, just so you can get an understanding as to why I like this area and what I'm looking for in the next few weeks, even few days. So here we have that zone. We have a demand right here. The demand is just based on this rally and the way that we based out right here. So the base goes from like this 97 all the way to like that 105. Okay, so knowing that, that's why I wanted to take it long over that 105. So the 105 gave me the confirmation to push up. Okay, and this here looks like a big drop, a nice base here with the drop, and then potentially building another base here. And we can see that we are at this demand level. And if you go look at all the ARK holdings like Tesla, DKNG, PLTR, now, and OW, you'll see that a lot of them are pretty much beat down pretty hard. And a lot of times when you see that, you see dead cat bounces, you see RSIs oversold, for the retail traders, you see a lot of things like that. So it causes to get a lot of attention, to start trading for a dead cat bounce is what people look for. But, looking at the bigger picture, we're looking at this weekly time frame, and we're at a level of demand, okay? The demand based on a lot of the tickers that are, all the way down to the floor and hurting, they can potentially start to see some rally in the next few weeks. The market is still a little bearish. I think the sentiment is still a little off. Tech is a sector that's been getting beat down a lot. So a lot of sectors in general are getting beat down, while financials are still way up there. Retail's just trying to pull back some. And then you have like the manufacturing, who's just kind of way up there as well. Things like HD, Low, and Cat that need to still pull down just a bit more. So with ARK, when it comes to zone trading, and when it comes to pattern changes, trend changes, potential reversals, I like grabbing these plays because the risk to reward makes sense for me, and the potential that it has. I want to be able to catch the run up. Now I'm gonna show you this on what I see on the downtrend, and then I'm gonna show you something that has happened in the past that I was able to capture the trend all the way to the top. Now, when we have trends like this, okay, this is a staircase pattern to the bottom, and then this is a base down here what it's creating. So even with taking off these two lines here, okay, this is what I'm gonna do. So taking off those, and what you really want to see here, right? It's almost like a rounding bottom down here, okay? This is what I'm looking for right here. Kind of like this, okay? This is what I expect to see on ARK within the next couple of days. It can take 2, 3, 4, 5 days, as much as it wants. But again, it doesn't have to do this, okay? It can definitely just stay here, base out, and then drop to the bottom, okay? But again, I think the bottom levels would be like your 98 and your 97. Taking it below would be for the put side, because then you will see that it's a drop base drop, not a drop base rally. The rally, I'm looking for something to push up over 105 like this, all right, and then create a staircase pattern. So you would technically be looking, for this staircase pattern right here to be going to the top side, okay? That's what I'm going to be waiting for the next swing trade, and this is something that I want to prepare you guys beforehand before it does happen, in case it does. Okay, like I said, the market is still a little bearish right now. It's a little volatile, with us breaking below the 4100 level on /ES, and there's still a lot of stocks that are dropping, so the sentiment is still down. But as long as ARK holds these bases here, and a lot of the holdings that they have, continue to show some type of rally, I think it should be okay for a reversal coming in soon. Now, again, it doesn't have to happen with the next couple of days. Unfortunately, we caught the bad end of the stick, and then got faked out on this push here, this retest, and unfortunately we dropped. So make sure to keep your levels over 105, your alerts. Okay, the 105, the first target's going to be like this 106.30, and then you have like this 107, and then we're going to follow this staircase up to the top. Okay, so please be ready for this, because I want to show you an example of something that's done this before. Here, let me just clear this chart for you guys, just so you can see what's happened in the past that can potentially happen in the future, and that's what price action is. Okay, all right, so here is Costco. Okay, I'm going to show you this weekly chart first, just kind of like I did with ARK, and then let me show you the retest of a weekly level. Okay, you see this little base right here? Okay, here's your little base, right? And then here at one point this was a top. Okay, so you're testing, this was the breakout, right? This was the resistance at one point where we dropped heavily. We retested here, we got smacked down, we didn't drop any lower. We came here and we based out right on top. Okay, and if you look at Costco, we're at that same level, okay, on the weekly chart. Okay, now you go on the 4-hour, right? So you understand the weekly level, you understand that it was a retest, you understand that at one point it was a strong resistance turned into support. Look how it confirmed here. Okay, it confirmed here. And like I said, this thing just based out just a little bit here. And what happened is you start to look for a reason. Okay, the reason here, here's your Costco. Here's your little pattern on Costco that created this staircase all the way up. And I was able to capture a lot of these plays. Me and my team were, consistently playing calls. We played calls way up here as well. And then, of course, called out some puts on top on these levels here. But again, this is a staircase pattern to the top that you don't want to miss on a potential play for ARK. Okay, this play can be found on ARK. Okay. Oops. All right, so looking at ARK, you can see kind of the same thing happening. Now remember, we got to be a lot more patient for this, just because we are in a sentiment bearish market right now. So as soon as we can start breaking over 105, 103, 105, then we'll for sure start looking for call plays. So please remember this, keep this on the back burner, keep this on something that's going to be a high priority for a swing trade in the near future. This can happen next week. It doesn't have to happen in the next 2 days. Okay, so remember that. So continue to look at ARK, continue to go do some research on some of their top holdings, things like Tesla, DKNG, I think ZM they have as well. So they have a few tickers out there that are pretty much beat down heavily. So we're waiting for the pattern. Okay, I don't care what Kathy is holding herself. I could care less. What I care about is the pattern on the chart, and this is what I want to be able to trade. I want to trade the trend reversal. I want to trade the swings to the top side. I want to get the day trades to the top side. I want to capture as much profit as I potentially can, even though Kathy is down on her shares and down on a lot of her portfolio. I want to be able to make money while she's down, and while she continues to make money in the future, I want to make money with this too. So please guys, hopefully you understand this. If you don't, please DM me. This is all about patterns. You know, here's your staircase pattern. Here's your base. It can be a drop, base, drop, but it can be a rewarding drop, base, rally to the top side, and the target would be up here, this 128. And then from there, we're definitely going to, you know, continue to go even further, of course, with a bullish market. So hopefully this helps you guys to look for future patterns. And if you guys need help, if you guys have questions, you know, DM me. Most definitely can help you when it comes to zone trading, because I don't use any indicators on my charts. I could care less for them. I use price action, and I use staircase patterns, drop base drop, drop base rally. This is what I use. Okay, we go from zone to zone. We do pattern breakouts. That's what we do. All right. So thank you everybody for, you know, participating in a lot of the swing trades. I know we take some losses. I know we take some gains, but always remember that if it's a higher risk trade, go light. If it's a lighter premium, go a little more heavier. But still understand that you still got to manage your risk. You know, when you start seeing patterns, play the pattern. Okay, go in the next day and use the same levels to be able to day trade, and you know, to be able to scalp in between plays. So you don't always have to swing trade everything. Use the same levels that are given to be able to day trade if you don't want to take the swing trade. Always wait for the next day. You can wait for the next day to have that potential pop or that potential drop, whichever one it may be. You can play both sides of the coin. That's what we do. We trade options. We buy calls. We buy puts. So remember that. Don't always just stay biased with one position. Always be ready to trade both sides. Okay. And of course, follow the market sentiment. If the market sentiment is bearish, by all means, grab some bearish positions. If the market sentiment is going to be bullish, grab some bullish positions. Okay. So hopefully you guys have been enjoying the swing trades. And again, they're not just signals. A lot of it is educational content, you know, so we can understand what we're doing as traders. And for sure, we'll keep the recaps coming, and we'll keep the weekly watch list coming. And, you know, we're going to keep on growing through a lot of these swing trade positions. So look out for ARK. Like I said, make this a top priority. You know, and if you guys wanted to get an early entry, I would start looking for the June 4th calls. The June 4th calls for the 110s have some decent open interest. Okay, if you want to go a little further, you want to look for June 11th, but there's not a lot of open interest in here. But again, you don't have to enter today. I'm just kind of pointing out some stuff that you can potentially start building into. So if you have the account for it, you can build, you know, long positions here, and then you'll be in for the breakout, and then you'll trade it to the top. But again, we'll leave that for another day. So good luck, guys. Please keep this on your top watch. Okay, this is going to be one of our top swings once the trigger levels start hitting, and once we start seeing the market recover just a bit. But for now, the market's still a little bearish. So go ahead and chill out, and you know, take some light positions over the weekend, overnight, or whatever you have to. Or again, simply just stay out, guys. All right. So good luck with your trading. Continue to grow, continue to learn, and we'll see you guys in the chats.